駆け抜け青春スパーキング
What is she up to now? Noontime the next day. Is everyone here?
おー、今日は暑いな。
毎日毎日暑くて嫌になりますね。
Thank God Hibiki and you didn't do anything last night so that she could spill the beans to everyone.
自分アイス買ってきましたけどいります？
Hijiri held up a box of 10 ice cream bars.
ちょうだいちょうだい。私も欲しいです。いい
Pass me one too, Hijiri.
っすよ。当の先輩は1個500円で。
Okay. That's steeper than Hagen-Dazs. Hagen... Well, how would you say it? Here's the thing, right? What's Hagen-Dazs? It's German, right? So are they parody? Are they trying to say it in a different German word? Or like, you know, because like what Hagen-Dazs? I don't know. We all swarmed to the ice cream Hijiri had bought.
ほらー、あんたたち緊張感が足りないわよ。昨日の夜に招集してもう次の日のお昼よ。お昼。私は緊急会議って言ったでしょ。
そんなこと言われてもな。
夜の10時にいきなり連絡してきて今すぐ集まれと言われても困るのですが。夜更かしは美容の大敵っすよ。編集の途中でした。しおりちゃん、編集ってなんでもないです。
Shiori with her loose fucking lips. Even in the other routes, she's fucking exposing herself as Shiorin.
私はもう寝てたのに。まあ、それぞれ事情はあるでしょうけども。
What do you... Nagiko, what do you mean you were asleep at 10? You're not allowed to have a... What would it be called? You're not allowed to have a good sleep schedule. That's not allowed.
アイスより先に私の話を聞いてよ。でも暑いんで早く食べないと溶けちゃうっすよ。小日向先輩もカッカしないで一本どうぞ。ありがとう。おいしい。じゃなくて、アイス食べながらでいいから話を聞いて。
On that note, everyone paid attention to Hibiki while we stuffed our faces with ice cream.
私ね、ユンチでリベンジャーズの過去作を見直してて気づいたの。響、また遠野のうちに行ってたの？
Well, yeah, of course she was. And this time, there's no other... I mean, like, it makes more sense why she would go to Yu's house now that they're dating.
ほぼ毎日いますからね。
ラブラブだな。
お暑いですね。確かにラブラブだけど、そこはいいから。とにかく、リベンジャーズを見て気づいたのよ。私たちには足りないものがあるって。みんな、それは何だと思う？戦闘能力ですか？あったら嬉しいけど違うわ。結束力？近づいてきたわね。ハリウッド並みの財力っす。惜しい。って違うわ。
俺たちに足りないもの、それは愛。
キモいわよ、神楽坂。
ツッコミに愛がない。
いろいろあると思うけど正解は？私たちに足りないもの、それは目標よ。一つの大きな目標に向かってみんなで一致団結。この要素が足りないと思うの。
Everyone agreed with the collective ah.
まあ元はアクティブとネガティブの寄せ集めっすからね。
Get it? Because they're the youth collective, so they... Never mind.
大それた志なんてないからな。
だから私は考えたの。私たちにできる大きな目標を。それがこちら。
Hibiki grabbed the marker and wrote a huge print along the whiteboard. In huge print along the whiteboard.
風見フェス？
Kazami Festival.
そう、 風見フェス、青春のお祭りよ。
What the heck is that? I knew what Hibiki had come up with last night. However, she refused to elaborate like a Giga Chad, and added she was going to keep it a secret until she could share it with everyone in the youth collective.
ボランティアで自治会のお手伝いをしたのは覚えてるわね。あの時、自治会長がこんなことを言ってたの。
いつもは夏に自治会でお祭りをやるんですよ。ここの公園を借りて地元のみんなで楽しむこじんまりとしたお祭りなんですけど。
ああ、知ってる。子供の頃はよく来てたわ。
でも今年はもうやらないでしょうね。
そうなの？
やりたいのは山々なんですが、僕も含めてみんな体にガタが来てましてね。人手は足りないし、体力が持たないしで、いろいろ限界なんです。残念だけど、そろそろ潮時かなと。
そんな、やめちゃうなんてもったいないわ。人手がいるなら私が貸すわよ。やりましょうよ。
ありがとう。ただ今年は夏に安全強化の工事をするとかで公園が使えないんです。やりたくても場所がなければ難しいね。
Hibiki recapped her conversation with the association president to everyone, excluding all of the flirting that you did toward Hibiki. Oh, sure, collective complimenting. Let's go with that.
ということで、人手と場所がないせいで今年は自治会のお祭りができないらしいの。でも逆に言えば、人手と場所があればできるってことでしょ。だから私たちの手で用意する。
ああ、どうやって？
人手も場所もここにあるじゃない。それってつまり、人手は私たちで、場所はこの風見学園よ。そんなことが可能なの？普段お世話になってる地域の人たちを助けるのよ。これは立派なボランティアでしょ。なるほど。ボランティア活動なら学園側に大義名分が通りますね。そう、夏休みの最後にこの町の自治会を巻き込んで私たちでお祭りを開催するの。それが風見フェスよ。なるほど。風見フェスではバザーも併設するわ。地域のみんなにいろいろ持ち寄って販売してもらうスペースを提供したいのよ。
That's true. All the old ladies from the retirement home will be able to participate as well.
そういうこと。あとは野外イベント用のステージも設置。学園のいろいろな部活に声をかけて出し物ができたら面白そうじゃない？さらには玉浦祭りのように出店のスペースも作る。いろいろな人たちを集めていろいろな人たちと交流できる。みんなで楽しめる場所を私たちで用意するの。これが私の考える風見フェスよ。どう？みんなすごく面白そうでしょ。
She smacked the whiteboard with a bam and made the letters of Kazumi Festival shake.
確かに面白そうだけど。
要は地域のお祭りプラスバザープラス野外イベントってことだろ？なんかすげえ大変そうじゃないか？
そんなすごいこと私たちができるのかな。
Everyone had polished off their ice cream and looked between one another. Our first problem is the headmaster. We'll be hosting a large-scale festival and allowing outsiders on campus, which could be a risk for the academy. I doubt that woman would agree to anything we say, regardless of if it's part of our volunteer activities or not.
いきなり私たちに配分を言い渡すような方ですし、相当厳しいでしょうね。
Except for the fact that she was never going to do that in the first place. She was only doing that... I don't know why she was doing that. It has something to do with you and whatever the fuck. You know, it was a dumb premise in the first place.
あとその風見フェスってどれくらいの人が集まるのかわからないんすけど、そもそも自分ら8人で回せるようなイベントなんすかね。
じいちゃんばあちゃんの話し相手くらいならできるけどさ、何十人と来たらとてもじゃないけど相手する自信ないぞ。
私たちの中でイベントを開催した経験のある人っている？
I looked around, but nobody raised their hand.
つまり私たちにはイベントを開催する経験もノウハウも何にもないってわけね。響、これはちょっと厳しいんじゃないかな。
Hibiki went sullenly silent. Silent. Okay, yeah.
言いたいことはそれだけ？誰も私の質問には答えてくれないの？
What's your question again?
私はね、面白そうかって聞いたのよ。なのに、できるかできないかの話ばっかり。そうじゃないでしょ？まずは私たちがやりたいかどうか、それが一番の要で、一番大事なことなの。できるかどうかなんてその後の話よ。さあみんな、答えて。私の考えた風見フェス、面白そうって思う？みんなでやってみたいって思う？
Hibiki looked at each and every member.
私は、やってみたいって思います。私は、地域や老人ホームの皆さんのお手伝いをしたい、楽しんでもらいたいと思って、ボランティア活動をしてきました。風見フェスが、そんな皆さんにとって有意義なものになるなら、やらない理由がないです。ありがとね、リリー。他のみんなは？
そりゃ俺だってじいちゃんばあちゃんが喜ぶ顔が見たいよ。俺たちがお祭りを開いて喜んでくれるって言うなら、そりゃやってみたいさ。
皆さんがやりたいと言うなら。しおり、あんたは相変わらずね。みんなでフェス、きっと楽しいと思います。できる限り協力します。私もいいと思うよ、風見フェス。野外ステージはすごく興味ある。私もやってみたいな。今までお祭りは参加する側で、自分たちが開く側になるなんて考えもしなかった。大変だと思うけど、やってみないとわからないことがいっぱいあると思う。だから、私もやってみたい。自分は小日向先輩のそのパーリー体質、嫌いじゃないっす。夏休みの最後に派手なお祭り、いいじゃないっすか。みんなで青春しましょうよ。ゆう、あんたは？
Everyone's eyes turned to me. I'm extremely skeptical we'd be able to pull this off. But if Hibiki says she's gonna do it, then so will I.
ゆう、あんたバカ？私の話、何も聞いてなかったわけ？
No, I listened. Reluctantly. I even gave a proper answer, didn't I?
私はね、あんたがやりたいかどうかを聞いてるの。
What? Hibiki, why are you giving Shiori the pass, but not you?
私がやるって言うならやるって、主体性ゼロか。
But Shiori literally said, if everyone else is gonna do it. So like, I thought it through again. Hibiki had been dragging me around by the nose for ages, and I somehow ended up a member of the youth collective. I had maintained a firm position of, I'll participate if it's something Hibiki wants to do. I'd felt that way ever since we were kids. Was that sort of mentality enough going forward? Would Hibiki need to continue carrying me on her back? Or in her arms, practically dragging me along? Well, except for the fact that at the start of the game, you definitely didn't have the position of you'll do it if Hibiki does it, because you didn't want to join active, and you didn't want to do anything with Hibiki. You were actually only dragged along and didn't want to do anything with her because you were too busy doing other things, you know, like trying not to get evicted or trying not to fail your classes so that you can't afford going to school, or, you know, other stuff. As her boyfriend, did I really want to continue being dependent on Hibiki? No, that would be right. If you want to hold the Kazumi Festival, I'll help. Those feelings haven't changed.
You...
But that's not all. I'd like to know what I'm capable of and what I want to do with my life while we make this festival happen. So Hibiki, let's do it. For my sake as well, I want to do it together with you.
まあ、いいでしょ。言うにしちゃ上出来ね。
It appeared she accepted my answer.
じゃあ、全員やってみたいってことで、OK？
おうよ。
やりたいっす。なら、風見フェス、やりましょう。もちろん開催できるかまだわからないし、途中で頓挫しちゃうかもしれない。でもいいじゃない。たとえダメだったとしても、頑張ったことには価値がある。だってこれは、私たちがやりたいんだから。この夏は、私たちが集まったこの夏は一度きりよ。この時が過ぎたら、もう二度と永遠に戻ってこない。やりたいことをやらないまま終わらせるなんて、そんなのもったいなさすぎるでしょ。はい、その通りです。
Hibiki's passion was contagious.
よーし、みんなで最高のお祭りを作るわよ。風見学園青春スパーキング。
What they said.
駆け抜け青春スパーキング。認められないわね。
Who would have guessed? Welcome back. You know, I didn't see you last route, so okay, I didn't miss you, but like, you know, never mind. The headmaster tossed out plane down on the desk.
どうしてよ、なごみさん。机を叩かないでちょうだい。壊れるでしょ。これくらいで壊れないわよ。それよりも、なんで認めてくれないの？計画書によれば、自治会や外部の委託業者を招いてお祭りを開くとあるけれど、これ、場所を提供する学園に何のメリットがあるの？いくらボランティア活動の一環とは言っても、うちにはリスクしかないじゃない。
I expected as much and assumed she would say something like that.
自治会の人たちが楽しめて、地域のお祭りを楽しみにしてた人たちが楽しめて、私たちも楽しい。楽しいことばっかりよ。メリットしかないじゃない。いや、響ちゃん。ゆうくん、翻訳して。
Hibiki had suggested negotiating with the headmaster alone, but I came along as backup. For good reason. I knew exactly how this was going to play out. As you can see from the document, utilizing the academy as a festival site would serve as a social gathering for the local community. The Kazumi Academy is indebted to the locals, both privately and publicly, and offering it as a venue would partially repay them for their support. As this festival will have participants ranging from the elderly to the young, you could think of this as an open house of sorts.
それは資料に書いてある。私が聞きたいのは、開かれた学園をアピールする具体的なメリットよ。メリットって何よ、そんなの。
I held a hand up to Hibiki as she rose her voice to keep her in check. Nagomi, you are an external educational advisor who was commissioned by Kazumi City. Sooner or later, you will need to showcase your accomplishments after being appointed here as our new headmaster, isn't that right?
続けてちょうだい。
By accepting this proposal, you can internally emphasize how you led your students to willingly volunteer and contribute to their local community. So you're bribing her. You're bribing her by filling out her achievements. I don't know, how would you say it? What's more, I'm sure it will win over the local residents if the Kazumi Festival is a success. It'll all be thanks to It'll all be thanks to your new education policies, Nagomi. This is the specific benefit we can demonstrate to you. So it's not a benefit to the school, it's a benefit to her. Right.
なるほどね。
ちょっとユウ、私は別になごみさんの方針がきっかけで風見フェスを思いついたわけじゃ。
We're going to purport that that's the case, Hibiki. Authority didn't take action for free. In order for Nagomi to exercise her authority, we needed to offer something in return. Dealing with the powers above wasn't a field that fell in Hibiki's skill set. All the more reason for me to be here.
私は学園にとってのメリットを聞いたんだけどな。ずいぶんと腹黒いことを考えるのね、ゆうくんは。
I was originally your apprentice. The corners of the headmaster's mouth were crooked, and I smoked back myself.
まあいいでしょう。では次の懸念事項よ。確かに本件は私の持っている決裁権で対応できる。ただ当然ながら問題が起これば、私はその責任を問われることになるわ。あなたたち、イベントの運営経験は？不慮の事態に対処するためのノウハウは？スタッフはどうやって用意するの？開催まで残り1ヶ月弱。あなたたちが想定する規模から考えると、かなり無謀よ。
Brother, the only person who has experience in anything is fucking you. And, well, he's not...
責任を負う立場として、見合うだけの運営能力がない人間に、許可は出せないわ。
He is not the manager of the restaurant he works at. So, you know...
あなたたちに、このイベントを無事に成功させるだけの能力はあるの？
Well...
大丈夫よ。なんとかするわ。
響ちゃん。あなたはもう少し具体性のある発言を心がけた方がいいわね。
具体的な方法も考えてるわよ。実際もう動いてるし。
You have?
うん。言ってなかったっけ？
You didn't tell him anything. What do you mean? I haven't heard a word of this. Or anything else.
二人とも、ちゃんと意思疎通をしてからここに来なさい。
We got scolded because of Hibiki.
それで響ちゃん、具体的な方法っていうのは？
簡単よ。いろんな人の手を借りるの。まず、自治会長には私たち運営チームに入ってもらう。自治会のお祭りを10年以上やってきた人だから、当然ノウハウだって持ってるでしょ。あとお祭りに必要な機材は自治会から全部借りられる。これも自治会長から承諾をもらってるわ。出店については玉浦神社に業者の連絡先を聞いて電話した。そしたらあの射的のおっちゃんが出たの。私たちのお祭りに来てよって言ったら OK してくれたわ。
Right. So, you were building connections at the Tamura shrine. That was the second main purpose of going to the shrine, and the first one was getting fucked at it. What? I mean, the confession.
お店の配置も請け負ってくれたし、そこも心配ないわね。
You did all that on your own?
ユウが計画書を作ってる間に暇だからいろいろ進めといた。あとは野外ステージだけど、茂木に連絡したら海の家の野外ステージをまるっと移設してくれるって。
茂木って誰？
海の家でバイトしてた人。あいつオーナーの息子なんだって。
Oh, right. The guy who tried to hit on her, and then she... I don't even know what the word would be. Scammed him? Sure, you can go with that.
ステージの進行も茂木がやったことあるって言うから、ノウハウも問題なしね。当日の運営スタッフは学園生から募集するわ。クラスのリーングループトークにはもう募集かけてて10人くらい確保できてる。あとはこれからあちこちの部活に野外ステージの出演依頼をするんだけど、その時にスタッフの勧誘も一緒にするつもり。まあ30人くらいいれば大丈夫でしょう。私たちはみんなの間を走り回って調整する予定。そこはきっちり責任持って進めるわ。残り1ヶ月弱だけど、基本はありものを組み合わせるだけだから簡単よ。ほらね、なんとかなりそうでしょ。
Hibiki, you only think it's simple because you're you. An ordinary person would take 1 to 2 weeks to safely put together an itinerary this huge. And yet she had single-handedly put us on the path of a resolution in no time at all.
響ちゃん、あなたっていろいろとすごいわね。
I hate that her mentality is being validated in this fucking visual novel. As you can see, we do have a plan in mind to resolve these issues. As long as you'll authorize us to use the academy grounds, we will absolutely make this a success.
なごみさんお願い。私たちに風見フェスをやらせて。
The headmaster took a deep breath and turned back to us.
運営は任せるけど、決裁権は学園側が持つ。開催準備に関しては逐一私に報告。学園側からの要請には、先ほど挙げた協力者の方々含めて従ってもらう。開催に問題があると判断した場合は、前日でも中止。学園側の決定に一切の異議は認めない。
異議は認めないって。
これら学園側の意向を汲み取り、協力者を含む全員に周知徹底させるのはあなたたちの役目。以上の条件を飲むなら許可してもいいわ。どうする？ゆうくん。
The headmaster fixed her gaze on me, almost like I was being tested. Again. God damn it. This fucking bitch and her tests.
ゆう、どうするの？かなり理不尽なことを要求されてる気がするんだけど。
Headmaster, may I ask a question?
どうぞ。
You won't use hosting the Kazumi Festival as a pretext to make unrelated demands. Is it safe for me to assume this?
ゆうくんが心配してるのは、開催の直前になって私が、中止してほしくなかったら遺産を相続しろ、とか言い出さないかってことでしょ？
ひどい。なごみさんそんなことするつもりなの？
しないわよ。今回の件で遺産の話は持ち出さない。
Would you promise us that?
ええ、約束するわ。
In writing, bitch. You need to write out write out a contract and have explicitly state that you will not bring it up.
私はもともとゆうくんに楽しい学園生活を送ってもらいたいだけ。せっかく仲間を見つけて楽しいことをしようって時にその邪魔をするわけないでしょ。
I was floored. She could say something like that. I honestly couldn't trust this person, but I understand. In that case, we accept your conditions.
決まりね。それでは青春部に風見フェスの開催を許可します。
ということで、学園長から OK 出ました。すごいよ響。あの学園長から本当に許可を引き出すなんて。まあね。どんなマジックを使ったんですか、師匠。
I didn't do much. It's thanks to Hibiki that we got the green light, except for the fact that I also convinced her by saying that this could look good on her resume. Well, I didn't even know... not her resume, but it would look good on paper.
そんなことないよ。ユウが理性的にやり取りしてくれたから。私だけじゃ絶対になごみさんを納得させられなかったと思う。ありがとね、ユウ。二人の愛の勝利って感じっすか。恋人同士だもんね。
Stop it. Us dating has nothing to do with this. Also, stop bringing it up. It's fucking annoying. It was so embarrassing. It was almost painful.
何にしてもこれから忙しくなるわよ。たった1ヶ月で準備しなきゃいけないし、それを学園側に報告もしないといけない。さらには各協力者の橋渡しもしないといけないからね。それは大変そう。大丈夫。大人とのやりとりは私とユウでやるから。
It's my job to report to the academy and inform the collaborators.
そうね。頼りにしてるわよ。
I only realized halfway through that was in the form of a question. Something told me that was the most troubling duty. But then I guess that's just how much everyone trusted me. Sure. You could say that. Got it. I'll do it.
他のみんなには楽しいところをやってもらうわ。
楽しいところって？
例えば、そう、風見フェスの宣伝ね。お祭りを開いてもお客さんが来てくれなかったら寂しいでしょ。どうすればお客さんが来てくれるか、そのために何をすればいいか考えて実践してほしいの。これはリリとリツ、それから神楽坂にお願いするわ。
No, you can leave the advertising to Shiori. She'd be able to pull it off easy.
任されました。頑張ります。
おうよ、やったるぜ。
次にスタッフ T シャツの作成よ。みんなで同じ T シャツを着たら盛り上がると思わない？
なあ、学園祭とかで T シャツ作ったりするクラスがあるけど、そのノリか。
そう、それよ。一度やってみたかったのよね。
いいっすね。絶対インスタ映えすると思うっす。
その T シャツのデザインをしおり、あなたに任せるわ。
私ですか？
そういうの得意そうだし、やってくれる？
Trust me, Hibiki. She'll be much better at marketing, at advertising, alright?
わかりました。部長がそう言うなら頑張ります。
It seemed like Hibiki had lit a fire on Hijiri's eyes.
それから運営スタッフ長はナギ、あんたに決めた。
Nagiko can be the bodyguard. I mean,
私がスタッフ長？
運営スタッフはほとんどが学園生になる予定よ。年上のあんたが一番適任だと思うの。スタッフへの連絡や配置決め、その他もろもろお願い。
わかった。任せといて。小日向先輩、自分は何すればいいっすか？
キッカには一番派手なポジションをあげるわ。
mascot.
ズバリ野外ステージの司会進行よ。
Never mind. She's the MC.
マジっすか？自分が司会やるんすか？
記者会見の時に司会やってたでしょ。あれ見てキッカならやれそうかなって。でも司会だけじゃなくてステージ全般、進行スケジュールや参加者との打ち合わせとかもお願いね。
うわー、責任重大っすね。でも楽しそうっす。やらせていただきます。
It didn't take long for Hibiki to divide up the roles. So, what are you gonna do, Hibiki?
決まってるでしょ。それ以外の全部よ。私が言い出しっぺだからね。一番大変なところは全部私がやるわ。回ってないところは私も手伝うから、少しでも詰まったら私に言うこと。
She looked around at everyone and struck a commanding pose.
さあみんな、やることは山ほどあるわ。どんどん決めて、どんどん動くわよ。風見フェス、絶対に成功させましょう。はい。
Yes.
駆け抜け青春スパーキング。
Oh god.
ゆう、来たわよ。
It was 7 o'clock in the morning and Hibiki announced herself over the intercom. I'm still sleepy.
もしかして夜更かししてたの？
Yeah, I was making documents until around midnight.
ゆうのそういう責任感があるとこ、私は好きよ。
Yeah, thanks.
でもちゃんと寝なきゃダメ。睡眠不足はミスを誘発するし、第一健康にも良くないわ。
Well, maybe if someone didn't rudely wake him up an hour before the recommended sleep time, he would be fine.
ユウには私の伴侶としてこの先も長生きしてもらわないといけないからね。
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. I could still be asleep if you hadn't shown up so early, though.
ユウ、そこにお座り。
I sat on the sofa.
私とユウは？
Childhood friends.
違う。私とユウは恋人、ラバーズ、 ダーリン&ハニーよ。で、恋人同士がするべきことといえば
You're naughty first. You're naughty first thing in the morning, Hibiki.
それも違う。
I mean, I was gonna say sex too, so, you know.
デートよ。恋人デート。これからお出かけするの。
Huh?
あのね、風見フェスで忙しいのはわかるわ。でも私たちは恋人になってまだ1週間も経ってないほやほやの出来たてカップルなのよ。
Correct. So maybe you should have thought up some dating locations before thinking up Kazumi Festival, you know? I get that your main goal in this fucking route was to get you and Hibiki, you to become boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, pun intended. Which you was you and which you meant the main character. I'll never tell. But now that goal has been completed, she fucking immediately thinks up a different goal that doesn't include dating. That doesn't include going on dates. So like, whose fault is that?
今ラブを育まないでどうするの。
Yeah, you do have a point. Hang on, what'd you say? Again? If we don't nurture our love early on, I think you nurtured a lot of love early on. You even expressed it. You even expressed how much love you nurtured towards to the rest of the club. If we're nurturing our love, couldn't we do that at home?
でも家の中のラブってそのエッチなことしか思いつかないし。
You say that like you literally you say that like you weren't watching movies together every time you're over here. You haven't been watching movies. Never mind. English is hard. Like you, it's for Hibiki. Never mind. You really are naughty, Hibiki.
だってしょうがないじゃない。
Maybe you shouldn't be saying this. Let's hope Ritsu isn't around.
家で二人で映画とか見てもいつも通りって感じで全然恋人らしい感じにならなさそうだし。
Okay, well, I'm glad that she at least acknowledges that sitting around watching movies all day isn't, you know, date worthy, but like, you know, yeah, true. We had been with Hibiki for such a long time that it didn't feel real. That we were dating.
だからね、二人で恋人らしいとこ行ってデートとかすれば恋人っぽさが実感できるかなって。ねえ、ユウもそう思わない？
She begged me adorably. Sure. Why don't we go out then? This summer where I first became lovers with Hibiki only came once. We had to make sure to do all of the things we wanted to do, not have any regrets. Like going to the water park.
朝の海は気持ちがいいわね。
Never mind, I thought they were going to go to the water park considering that the transition had the water park in the background. What do you want to do today?
海でデートはもうやったから今度はプールとかどう？
Never mind, they're going to the water park. Somewhere else with water again?
夏だからね。
I mean, you know, there is a supposed escape room, but like we never saw it, as in we as the audience slash player, right? We never got to see the escape room. We you know, who knows? Maybe they were fucking schizoing out in an empty room, and they were just flailing around thinking about puzzles in their head. Collective hysteria and whatnot. Mass hysteria. And come to think of it, what's your new house like? Hibiki and I had a light-hearted chat on the way to the station.
ただのマンションよ。25階建ての25階でエントランスはオートロック。あとコンシェルジュとかいう人がいるわね。
Isn't that quite an expensive apartment?
値段は知らないけど、まあそうかも。
I mean, I don't think you should be surprised about how expensive it is, considering that she goes to Kazumi Academy without the tuition, without the scholarship. I mean, the same goes for Kashima, but her family's pretty high up there too.
そんな大層なもんじゃないわよ。私はあの家よりユンチの方が落ち着くしね。ということで、ユウは早く私と結婚して、あの家から連れ出すように。
Probably out of the question while we're students. I mean, you're meant to be 18, right? That's what the warning said. And I only have a part-time job right now. I doubted her parents would approve either.
仕事なんて何でもいいのよ。それにほら、私って社長とか向いてそうじゃない？お金は私が稼ぐから、ユウは主婦やってよ。
What about my independence?
別に向いてる方が向いてることすればいいでしょ？女は家事で男は仕事なんて今時流行らないしね。
Well, yeah, I can't picture you holed up at home.
そうよ。主婦なんて絶対に私らしくない。日本一の社長に私はなる。
King of company presidents?
ああ、でも社長やるなら補佐役はユウがいいな。ってことでユウ、私と一緒に会社やりましょう。夢は年商1000億よ。そしてツリッターで100人に100万円ずつお年玉をプレゼントするわ。
You really are a woman who dreams big.
でしょでしょ。
But if you become president of a company, you're banned from Twitler.
なんでよ。
Because we may get carried away and say something we shouldn't. You're gonna get cancelled on Twitter if you become a CEO.
来たわよ、カズシー。
This is my first time back after coming with the members of the Active. It's pretty packed. That's summer break for you. There were a decent number of people here last time too, but far more this time around.
ユウ、早く早く。プール入ろう。
Hibiki rushed me over to the pool.
ほら、ユウ。
Wow, who would have guessed that we'd get another water park CG? Why you did it now, Hibiki. We splashed each other while laughing like crazy.
冷たくて気持ちいい。海もいいけど、プールもプールでいいものね。
The surface of the water reflected the sunlight and sparkled. Likewise, Hibiki's soaked skin also shone radiantly. Yeah, they certainly are.
今年の夏は暑いからね。プール最高。
Global warming's gotta be your fault, huh?
まあね、私って神だし。
No, you're not a god. You're Kazumi City's Shuzo Maruoka.
ちょっと、私のキャラが暑苦しいって言いたいの？
As a test, you give your best Shuzo Maruoka impression.
どうした？もっと熱くなれよ。
Ahaha, you sound just like him.
って全然嬉しくないわ。
Hibiki splashed at me.
というかさ、普通は彼女と一緒にプールに来たらまずは水着とか褒めるものじゃない？
But I've seen you in that swimsuit at the beach.
やっぱり慎重してくればよかった。これじゃあユウに可愛いって思ってもらえないじゃない。
Don't worry, you're the cutest one in the entire world. I beg to differ.
くぬー、もっと私をめでろ。
But you've done it now. For all she splashed me, I splashed just as much back.
鼻に水が入るでしょ。
Brother, you don't have a nose. You're an anime woman. Relax. I got it up there earlier already.
やったわね。負けないわよ。
Hey, don't be so serious about it.
やられたら10倍にして返す。 10倍返しよ。それが私のやり方。
Hibiki used her whole body to splash at me. I see. Fine. I won't show any mercy either.
この沈め。
You're the one who's going to drown. I mean, down. I may have added an R. As a result of splashing at each other as hard as we could, Hibiki and I got a mouthful from the pool lifeguard, and also a mouthful of pool water. That was rough. I discreetly took cover under the hurtful gaze of the very unhappy lifeguard. Hibiki said she was thirsty and wanted to buy a drink, so she headed back to the lockers. Really? She was still thirsty after drinking all that pool water? I can't believe this. Man, this happens because she's so quick to get fired up. She got so worked up whenever she acknowledged something as a competition and went on the counter-offensive. See, these are the times I like this route, right? It's when you actually plays along. And when I mean plays along, I mean it's hard to explain, right? Because it's when you isn't forced to play along. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? With the beach scene as well, and also whenever they're watching movies together, and this scene, right? Those were pretty good. And then you get the scene that happens in the club room right after they fucked, where Hibiki is the one who sets up a press conference, quote unquote, answers any question that is given to her, including the ones where the answers should stay private. And it's just, am I meant to like Hibiki with those scenes in mind? Because, like, I want more of this, where you actually plays along. Because, you know, it's more in line with his character to play along with Hibiki when it's just them, right? Not involving the other club members, especially when it could be an embarrassing moment, right? As an introvert, never mind. Is she some competitive little kid or something? Oh, Hibiki came out from the locker room. Just as I was about to meet her, several men surrounded her first. How many is several?
ねえねえ、君一人？俺たち男だけで来てるんだけど、一緒に遊ばない？
悪いけど彼氏いるから。ごめんね。
どんなやつ？っていうか今は一人でしょ？だったら今だけ遊ぼうよ。
It looked like she was being hit on. Better go help her. Yeah, but the last time she got hit on, she scammed a guy and got him to and forced him to give her free stuff. Could you move?
な、何君？
The unruly guys glared at me.
私の彼氏よ。
うわ、ひょろ！しかもまだガキじゃん！こんな貧相なやつより俺らと遊んだ方が絶対楽しいって。さあ行こう行こう。
A sharp glint glistened in Hibiki's eyes when the man reached out to touch her shoulder.
はあ？いい加減にしなさいよ、あんたたち。
Oh, good thing they practice Aikido that one scene. Now they can fucking defend themselves against these guys. And guess what? They're barehanded, so I don't have to complain about how Aikido wouldn't be effective against people that have weapons.
私の彼氏のユウはね、これでめちゃくちゃかっこいいのよ。下心見え見えのあんたたちなんかより、私のユウは100倍も1000倍も素敵で最高の彼氏なの。他の人がどうかは知らないけど、私にとってはユウ以上の男なんているわけがないのよ。
But there is one thing I can complain about with Aikido that would relate to this scene. God damn it. It's that going back to all of these martial arts, you only ever see them during one-on-one competitions, right? It's when two students practicing the same martial arts are against each other. It's never practical in one against many fights, you know? It's never effective against one person, with one person against multiple guys. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say.
わかったらさっさとどっかに消えなさい。
Hibiki yelled so loudly that everyone turned to look. Everyone around turned to look.
行こうぜ。
Never mind, they're just they're skedaddling. The men left looking dejected, either pushed away by Hibiki's intensity or afraid of the onlookers watching. Yeah, but like, we only heard two of them talking, so how many were there really?
私の言うをバカにするなんて100年早いのよ。消えろナンパ野郎。ペッペ。
When did I become yours?
そんなの会った瞬間からに決まってるでしょ。
Also good to see that you practicing Aikido with Nagiko was only relevant to one scene in this route. God damn it. It could have easily been more you could have easily made it relevant for this scene. Why didn't you?
というか、ユウも少しは反論しなさいよね。あんな連中にバカにされて悔しくないの？
I'm the type who avoids making waves. It all worked out since those guys backed off. But what would I do if you got mad and started throwing punches?
その時は合気道でズバーッと投げ飛ばすだけよ。
They got mad. Hibiki mimicked my one-arm shoulder throw. And then again, I am glad you got mad for me. Just don't do anything too dangerous.
はいはい、努力するわ。
Also, it's embarrassing when you call me stuff like the greatest boyfriend, so cut that out. Everyone around us was laughing.
何よ、本当のことを言って何が悪いの？私にとってユウは最高の彼氏よ。あんたは違うわけ？
I'll go with no comment. As if I could say that in public.
ほら、そこは大事なとこだからちゃんと言え。
Oh, I'm thirsty. I better go buy a drink.
このアホユウ、ごまかすな。
Hibiki kept on hounding me afterwards, but I did my best to evade her. Like I evade my taxes. Never mind. I'm exhausted. We were heading home from the pool.
目いっぱい泳ぐと体中がだるいわね。
You're awfully energetic, all things considered.
そんなことないわよ。私も結構疲れてるし。
You could have gone straight home then. Hibiki's house was closer to the station, but she wanted to stop by my place first, so that they can have hot steamy sex.
ダメよ。ちゃんと家まで送り届けないと不安だし。
That's normally what the man would say to the woman.
男が女より強いという固定概念があるからそう思うだけよ。私はユウより強いから。
I do agree with that, at least mentally speaking.
ユウが豆腐メンタルな分、私が強くないといけないしね。
That's brutal.
あ、またそれ口にしてる。
Yeah, that's what you get.
最近言わなくなったなーって思ったのに、まだその悪癖抜けないの？
I'm stuck with it for life. I was sure Hibiki had never whined about it before, so she wouldn't understand how I felt. But I believed that was how it should be. Please just stay as strong as you are now.
ユウに言われなくたって分かってるわ。大丈夫。ユウは私が守るから。
She really was a hero to her core.